Welcome to episode 22 of Aurei Plays Factorio Seablock. We're really, basically we've set up our power loop to the point that I'm okay with leaving it like this for the time being. We can recycle some of this, so let's, but I'm not siphoning off any mud now, so we probably want to set that up. So yeah, I do want to set up. I think it's fine actually. Or create. No, but I mean it's a waste. Like, right, if we wouldn't set it up. So I am going to. The reason is basically if we have the machines, they should be running. It's free resources we can get, and since we don't have anything to mine, we simply need that on all fronts. So we're gonna do that. Yeah, we can collect this though. Can feed them some more slag. Collect that. And this is really really doing fine. Let's make sure we move this along as well. Yeah, there we have a lot of iron ore going. Okay, we have some iron plates, so but we might not have needed that anyway. Let's see how we're gonna set this up. We could do it. This is a pain actually. I managed to really squeeze this in nicely. We could do it like this, and then take it from here. I think that'll. It might be a little bit wonky with the splitter rules, but for the most part this should be fine. If it's like normally I think this could take an item that comes in from here, but as long as that doesn't exist, then this is fine. This also means that the hydrogen sulfide loop keeps running, which is kind of important for this process. Yeah, let's feed some in here. Bring that forward. Yeah, we have iron plates. Okay, so these are set up properly. I suddenly realized the mod that I was going to add but forgot. It's bottleneck. Yeah, let me I'll do that for next episode. Yeah, because I was wondering whether these were running, and it looks like they're not because we're out of... Oh, I cut the water somewhere. Wait, what happened here? This looks really weird. This is not going anywhere, right? Oh, I rotated this pipe by accident. How bad is it? It's kinda bad. Yeah, this is almost, well, there's some left still here, but it's almost out. But yeah, so the problem now is also that this sort of causes the shock wave of these two getting started at the same time again. Let's build a couple saw blades and put them in there. Can't hurt. Or actually, well, it could hurt, but let's not go that far. Yep, so these guys are producing soil. Compost seems to be doing fine. Is this chest is empty? Okay, so I guess we've gotten to the point where we really need to start setting up the algae stuff. Given how the green algae Yeah, I'll set it up with green algae because it gets us free brown algae, which are also useful. So I'll do that, and yeah. So in order to do that, we need some landfill. So I'm gonna craft some more as well. Let's see, that was over here. Yeah, we could do with like another 100. I'm also gonna make. Yeah, I'll start from here and we'll leave. Does this still work? Yeah, it does. Okay. I think it even works if you like fill it all of it in uh, with landfill, but then you can't replace it. So I'm not sure. I think there are mods that allow you to bore a hole, which I think, I guess, is not necessary for this mod, right? Since, you know, there's water everywhere. But if you make a like yeah, if you make a big mistake, then it might make sense to allow that. Yeah, we'll need some inserters. We have some belt. Um, we're gonna run. I think it makes sense to do some of that processing here, and then feed the compost over. Right? That's probably a good idea. Because then this is also less cramped. We can just move along here and we can feed it in from this side. Yeah. So let's actually do that. So we're gonna make a little bit of room here. We're gonna have a splitter at this point, which I would need to craft. The splitter is gonna filter out the brown algae to the left, and we'll continue with the green algae to the right. This can just go in a chest. I should set that so output priority is, I guess output priority is right and should be, it doesn't matter, right? It's can't, yeah, it's okay either way. So to the right we're gonna do the green algae, and we're gonna power off this. Okay. And we're gonna put a chest down for the brown algae, which means that the green algae get to go in here, and we'll bring we'll bring over the composter in a bit, I guess. We can put some green algae in there right now. Actually, let's just put in a stack of brown algae. I don't care that much. So then we don't get backlogged again. But I do wanna get some sapphire ore and make sure that we kickstart this properly. And we have none of it left. How are we doing? Power wise, pretty good. Looks good. Yeah. Okay, so we have this going. The compost is running again. So I just need to craft a couple belts in order to get enough iron ore, or to be able to replace the composter right here, and then pull over a belt and make sure that this is all automatic. Let's see. So processing wise, we get 25 algae in 30 seconds. This is quite fast, but I don't think these consume. Yeah, they consume 1 compost per second altogether, right? No, actually, so 2, right? Okay, so we might need some more in the future, but for now, if we just move over the composter over here, we have a practically limitless supply of green algae. We just need to take care that the brown algae also might fill up in this chest. Yeah, let's go grab the iron plates. Do we have some more of this ore? Yeah, let's get that in here. Yeah, we have a ton of iron to collect. Okay, that will give us 2 batches, so like 48 plates. And that way we can craft the belt we need. We actually have a little bit in reserve. Let's see. So 1 underground belt, then above ground. That should get us quite far. So let's see. We'll also need an inserter. Let's do it like this. Run a bit of underground belt. Oh, we might actually need another underground belt. Yeah, so the other underground belt, I hope it reaches 2. Yeah, exactly 2. Okay, so let's pick this up. Put it down in a place where we have landfill going. Yeah, that's it. Feed the algae into it, and we need another inserter to feed the compost out. There we go. Okay, so let's not forget to connect the final bit. So that's why we had this last piece of underground belt. Here we go. We don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, but we do need a couple of pieces of belt. And then we're good. Okay, so it looks like this will be just in time to Aurei and give some for this guy. Algae wise, this is gonna, yeah, this should be fine. Maybe it's not enough, but then we'll extend it in the future. Okay, so let's, yeah, saw blades are also actually quite fine at the moment, but we do want, that's basically the next thing we want to make a little bit bigger. I'm also, what I'm a little bit worried about is how tight I built this. So if we at some point can manage, we might want to move some of this production over, for example, to here, and just bring the soil over here in order to allow the greenhouses, the arboretums, to have a little bit more space. Because I think in a future upgrade, these can also take carbon dioxide, and it will speed up the growth of the trees. Let's see how we're doing here. This looks pretty good. We have some of this again. Actually quite a lot of charcoal in reserve. That's pretty awesome. Oh, we had a lot of compost in our inventory as well. So let's bring that into these machines. At least some of it. We can keep some of it in reserve. We need to take care that this loop actually doesn't overflow, but so basically, yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. But we can improve it in the way I described previously. So we want to just feed in the saw blades with the splitter where the priority input is on the left side, so the used saw blades get in first, and after that the new ones get introduced. We have some crushed sapphirite to help along in this line, and we have some iron plates in reserve. That's always nice. Okay, so where are we at? I think we're ready to move to scaling this up. I'm gonna need some landfill, actually a lot of landfill to do that. So we're gonna craft all of this. I'm gonna craft a bunch of this, I guess. Yeah, like 100 or something, that seems good. We're gonna get some more crushed stone. We're gonna gather some slag, which has apparently filled up. Yeah. This is it's going pretty swimmingly, if I say so myself. We're really getting to the point where we can start thinking about really getting full automation set up on some of these things. So the power loop is fully self-sustaining with the exception of the saw blades, which is always the tricky part. Power-wise, we do want to get an upgrade, so maybe I think this is a good time for that. So let's actually also craft some science, and we'll start researching the boilers, I think. Oh, we need to make those out of steel as well. Okay, interesting. Yeah, but I think they're quite expensive, but I'm pretty sure these are still worth it. As in, yeah, they've got to be worth it because basically, okay, I think it's still the next thing on the research list, but maybe we want to be waiting on it. Okay, so this is how we handle the sulfuric wastewater. So this is also something that we might want to work with. Yeah, I think those are the prime candidates for researching something. But yeah, I think the boilers do. I'm gonna leave those for now, actually. So I'll cancel these. This kind of research is not that high of a priority, in the sense that once we've got this set up, then we can do the research so much more easily, and we'll automatically basically get those upgrades. I am gonna need to craft some chemical plants, but we can actually already craft 3 of them, so that's pretty great. We would need 5 if we want to make this whole setup. I think we do. I'm fine with having a couple of those in reserve and adding them on as we need to. But I think it makes sense to like properly set those up. If we want to, we can like put some of them in 2x2 setups where we process different stuff next to each other. But I think it makes sense to really grab our space with this, and yeah, I mean, there's something to say for making sure. I think. Oh wait, so this should have an output priority to the right. It looks like it's not necessary, but who knows? As we see, the compost is actually quite happy. I think. I mean, once we might add more of these assemblers, they might not take enough. But for now, it's quite good, and we've really got the loop set up the way we want to. The only thing we need to take care of is the saw blades, since in this setup they degrade at the same rate. So there's a lot of 10% saw blades in here probably, so they will all be used up at the same time. So what we might want to do, this is now empty. Mostly empty, so I'm gonna relocate this just a little bit. It won't be for long as well, but I want to set it up here, And let's reset this recipe. We do need to place a power pole then. I'm already going to set up what I want to do later, but now I'll just feed it from a chest, such that if the saw blades are running out, then we'll see it in the chest basically, and then we know, hey, we can add some more in. Let's see. Yeah, we're basically handcrafting a lot, so let's move over some of these ores. It's something we can do while this is going. There's no iron plates waiting for us, unfortunately. It's always a good surprise to have. I do want to throw in a couple of slag stacks in here, but the rest can go towards crushed iron, crushed stone. How are we carbon-wise? We're awesome carbon-wise, charcoal-wise, I mean. Yeah, this setup will be fine. We'll at some point probably double all of this. The seed generator, yeah, looks like it's still working, but it could. I hope it could handle another 2 arboritra. That means we could just double all of this is set up. And also note that at this point we draw some power out of it, and we can actually siphon quite a lot of this charcoal. And I'm going to leave it this way because this is also our backup fuel. So if it gets down, we can take some out of it and put it in. But we're basically good on that front. In that power-wise, we won't consume a lot more for a bit. Like once we set up the iron lane basically to really smelt this iron, then the good part is that we can create a couple more of these and we can dedicate everything. And then then we're basically in business, as they say. So let's set this up. We need a belt here. We want input priority on the left. We have a chest here. We have an inserter. And we can put saw blades in there. So let's craft a couple more to see that it really works the way we want it to. I guess we'll craft all of them. Yeah. So for now they'll take this, but once the saw blade gets out, we can let's also start a craft for this, but as we see here, so the input priority, this one gets eaten before we add more. Let's add a craft. All this landfill would be nice. Yeah, so I built some chemical plants. Let's eat the sapphirite ore and put it in our machines. Yeah, we are gonna use electric crushers, so that will increase our power footprint a little bit. So just so we're aware. Yeah, we have a lot of crushed stone in reserve. We could be using some of that to create landfill. I will if we need to, but if we don't, I don't really mind either. Okay, so let's increase this brush size a little bit. Yeah, we do need a lot more of that. A chemical plant. Okay, so let's get started here. I guess a little bit up if we want to run this through. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Are we really we're using up all the oxygen, actually. Okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't have necessarily expected that. But I guess, yeah. I mean... Oh wait, but... This is an overflow valve, right? So why... Oh, so the oxygen gas... Okay. So that's kind of problematic. Let's remove this like this, right? Because the fact that there's 0 oxygen here and a ton over there means that it makes sense because, you know, that's how the production works. But let's set it up a little bit like this so that it actually keeps some oxygen in reserve, right? Because this will only be like at 80s if it's like that everywhere. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Okay, that could have meant that this one would have gotten stuck, but now I see what's going wrong. Yep, okay. So that it had nothing to do with this flare. Let's move it back then, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna destroy this and forget that the flare stack is should have been moved back as well. Yeah, that's I tend to do that sometimes, like accidentally press R and you rotate some entity and the entire factory gets ground to a halt. But yep, that's life. We have a saw blade in here which we can put in the chest. Other than that, yeah, I guess we should probably craft a couple more. How we're doing here, yep, can get some out of that, some out of here, and get the iron plates out. Yeah, we're doing quite fine on that part. Yeah, before we move this over, we want to run some copper through it to make sure that once we've set it up, we have enough copper for a while, and we cannot not be bothered by that. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna set up the oxygen stuff. Yeah, so this is for purified water. Yeah, we could get that from something else, like the sulfuric wastewater treatment, but we need to research that. So let's set it up like this, and we'll deal with that later. I'm gonna have a pipe here. Let's just move this wind turbine out of the way. Like this. We're gonna do it. Yeah, remove this as well. Now we can just run it like this. And for the oxygen, we'll run it around the other way. We'll want to craft some more of this. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna be low on stone as well. That's also a first. So we need to make sure that we use the crushed stone and we craft it into stone. Yeah. So let's skew some of that. It should be here. Yeah. That's. Oh wait, that's not what I want. Can I craft a stack? Doesn't look like it. Like it's all or nothing. Let's just craft a bunch. And at some point we'll put this in a furnace and we'll create stone pipes out of it. At some point, I mean now. Yep, so this can go like this here. Then it should be yep, and here we go. Okay, so this is the first bit of the chemical setup. So for the pipes, let's see how the... Okay, so we also need stone bricks for the underground pipes. So we can't just go ahead and put it all into that. We're running full power. That's noticed downstream in the factory. We have two choices. We can either see if we can research the upgraded machines, but I think it makes sense to just craft another boiler and two engines. Because yeah, we do want to be able to actually allow that. We'll need some belt for that as well. We can put in this. And we have some iron waiting for us. Awesome. Is that enough to craft a steam engine? It's not. Oh, but we have a steam engine? Okay, I totally forgot about this. Well, it's good that we didn't craft another then. Let's see. So we're gonna put down a boiler, but it cannot be built on water, so let's paint this in. Put down a boiler. We're gonna put in two steam engines. Oh, yep. Okay, so that's Okay, so we can start with one actually. That's fine for now, but it does make sense to add another. Okay, so yeah, now electricity is a little bit more lenient. Yeah, and we're building up our backlog of charcoal, which is nice. I'm gonna make sure that this setup has enough. Yeah, it has plenty. Awesome. Let's do another run here. And we have a lot of iron in backup. Okay, so we have the water setup. We'll need to chain the hydrogen sulfide as well to here. So we're gonna paint this in a little bit and we're gonna set up another machine. So basically the way I'm setting this up means that I'm gonna use like this area sort of as a transfer bus and to bring up the fluids, and we just wanna have arrays so that we can extend it if we need to. If we're gonna move to another entire other production process, then that's also fine. Then we're just gonna use some of the space next to it to set that up, and then tear down the old stuff afterwards. This does seem like a good point to cut for YouTube, so I'm gonna do that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.